Hello, my name is Jolly Odelay, and today I come to talk to you about Australia. Australia is a wonder in the world. It's an island, it's a continent, and it's a country all at the same time. You go to the outback and see kangaroos and koala bears, as well as going to the beach in Sydney and having a barbie. A lot of things are happening in Australia because the economy is great. Yes. If you have 100 of these, on some days you might have more than $100, making it one of the best economies in the world. But that's not really what I came to talk to you about today. I came to talk to you about a different culture that's within Australia. That's the culture of the indigenous people. You might know them as the Aborigines if you've ever heard of them before. There are 400,000 people, or 2% of the current population, and many times they're neglected, disrespected, and exploited. I come to talk to you about their traditions, their rituals, and their ability to persevere throughout time. Aborigines have the longest and most current culture out of any in the entire world. It dates back to 40,000 years when it came from the Asia area. That's why I have this face paint on my face today. This is one of the many traditions they have, as well as hunting. They hunt still till this day, and they have many weapons that they use. One of the most infamous weapons to kill their prey is called a boomerang. You might have heard of that. Yes, the Aborigine kinsmen in Australia made that weapon up. You could strike an animal from 100 yards away and kill them. You could also throw it and make it come all the way back to you. Another thing that I want to talk about that's passed from generation to generation is the way they source their food. They not they don't only hunt, but the kids hunt and the women hunt as well. Even though they hunt smaller game, they still do hunt, and they do contribute to the diet as well by planting vegetation. Another thing that's passed down from generation are the rituals. The rituals still last to this day. They do a lot of things to pay homage to their mythical ancestors that shaped the landscape. They're large figures that they pay homage to, pray to, dance to, and sing for. One of the instruments that came about from these rituals is the didgeridoo, which is an instrument they made from hand. They do rituals every day to praise these mythical ancestors that shaped the landscape. And they call it dreamland, but that this might be an interpretation, English interpretation. One more thing that I want to talk to you about is their ability to persevere. The Aborigines have been through a lot of trial and tribulation. In the late 1700s, the British people came over to colonize Australia. They moved in prisons where prisoners came to work from dusk till dawn, working in rock quarries. But in this period, the Aborigines were disrespected to the almost. First, they were relocated. Then the British made it legal to actually slaughter the Aborigine people. They killed a lot of people. There was multiple massacres, one by Black Creek. Another thing that happened during this time is that a whole generation of boys, young men, and kids that were of Aboriginal descent were taken and put in an orphanage. They wanted these kids to be accustomed to the British culture, so they stripped them from their homes and put them in orphanages all throughout Australia while their parents were relocated. They often call this the lost generation. I think this is quite horrible. Today, I hope you learned a little bit more about the culture, the rituals, and the ability to persevere, because still to this day, they are here. And we could learn from them by first-hand experience if you ever travel to Australia or meet one by hand. So, I think as citizens of this earth, it's important to learn from cultures like this that have been around, been through trials and tribulations, because it's important to learn history so we not repeat the same mistakes ourselves. I hope you have a nice day and that you take a little bit of the information that I passed on to you today and put it to use. Thanks. My name is Jolly.